The Chancellor's Spring Statement, a devastating blow to millions. Fury erupted among Labour backbenchers this week following the release of a government impact assessment revealing the staggering consequences of proposed welfare cuts. The analysis paints a grim picture, projecting that over 3.2 million households will experience a significant decline in their financial well-being, with a projected 250,000 individuals plunged into poverty. This revelation has ignited a firestorm of criticism, with Labour MPs condemning the measures as devastating and unacceptable. The government's own figures, published alongside the details of Rachel Reeves's Spring Statement on Wednesday, lay bare the harsh reality of the proposed benefits reductions. The impact assessment, a document intended to objectively evaluate the policy's ramifications, instead serves as a damning indictment, showcasing the potential for widespread hardship. The sheer scale of the projected negative impact, millions of households facing financial hardship, 250,000 people pushed below the poverty line, has sent shockwaves through the political landscape. The anger within Labour ranks is palpable, with backbench MPs voicing their outrage and demanding accountability. Debbie Abrahams, the Labour chair of the influential Work and Pensions Select Committee, delivered a scathing critique in the House of Commons, directly challenging the government's rationale. Her words echoed the concerns of countless constituents facing the stark reality of these impending cuts. All the evidence points to the fact that the cuts to health and disability benefits will lead to increased poverty, including severe poverty and worsened health conditions, Abrahams declared, her voice laced with frustration and concern. She posed a critical question that cuts to the heart of the matter. How will making people sicker and poorer help to drive our economy up and get people into jobs? This rhetorical question highlights the fundamental flaw in the government's logic. A policy that seemingly exacerbates societal problems while claiming to address them. The controversy deepened with the Chancellor's ill-advised attempt to justify the cuts during a lunchtime appearance on the BBC. His analogy, comparing the complexities of assessing the benefits cuts to managing his children's pocket money, was met with widespread ridicule and further fueled the already intense backlash. This clumsy attempt at explanation, far from clarifying the situation, only served to underscore the government's apparent disconnect from the realities faced by millions of vulnerable individuals. The analogy, perceived as dismissive and insensitive, sparked outrage across the political spectrum and beyond, highlighting a profound lack of empathy towards those most affected by these policies. The sheer scale of the projected impact is truly alarming. The 3.2 million households facing financial hardship represent a substantial portion of the population, highlighting the potentially far-reaching consequences of these cuts. The 250,000 individuals pushed into poverty represent a significant increase in societal inequality, potentially exacerbating existing social and economic divides. These figures represent more than just statistics. They represent real people, families, and communities struggling to make ends meet. The government's response to the growing criticism has been muted, failing to adequately address the concerns raised by Labour MPs and the wider public. The lack of a robust and compassionate response only serves to intensify the anger and frustration felt by those who believe these cuts will inflict irreparable damage on the most vulnerable members of society. The debate surrounding these proposed welfare cuts extends far beyond the political arena. It raises profound questions about the government's priorities, its understanding of the complexities of poverty and inequality, and its commitment to protecting the most vulnerable members of society. The consequences of these cuts will be felt far and wide, extending into communities, families, and the very fabric of society itself. The coming weeks and months will undoubtedly witness continued intense scrutiny and debate, with the focus firmly fixed on the devastating potential of these proposed reductions in welfare support. The stark reality presented in the government's own impact assessment leaves little room for doubt. Millions stand to lose, and the social and economic ramifications could be profound and long-lasting. The outcry is a powerful testament to the deep-seated anxieties and concerns felt across the nation. The coming parliamentary debates promise to be explosive,